From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, August the 7th, 2019. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterated today that he is looking to form a strong right-wing government and is not interested in a unity government to lead the State of Israel, presumably referring to the results of last April's elections where Likud and the Blue and White Party, led by Benny Gantz, were neck and neck. Yisrael Beitenu leader Avigdor Lieberman recently said that he would only support a candidate willing to push for such a unity government. But in an op-ed published today in Yisrael Hayom, Netanyahu made it very clear that he was interested in establishing a strong right-wing government after the election, which will continue to lead the State of Israel to unprecedented heights, he wrote, and to guarantee the security of Israeli citizens. He wrote, "This is my commitment to Likud voters. There will be no unity government." Ynet reports that Israel's Foreign Minister Yisrael Katz said yesterday that Israel was involved in a U.S.-led naval mission in the Strait of Hormuz. Katz was quoted from a closed session of the Knesset Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee, saying that Israel was assisting in the mission with intelligence and other areas, adding that the mission was in Israel's strategic interest of countering Iran, who recently seized merchant ships in the area. There has been no confirmation of the Ynet report. The visiting delegation of Democratic members of the U.S. House of Representatives met yesterday with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah. PA news site Wafa reported that Abbas told the group, which is being led by House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, that he rejects, quote, American dictates and decisions related to Jerusalem, refugees, borders, and security, unquote, and reiterated once again his support for a two-state solution. Israeli firefighters battled a blaze in southern Israel today caused by an incendiary device sent over from Gaza across the security fence. This is the first time in over a week of such an arson balloon landing in the area. Well, some long-awaited good news for a Palestinian man who saved a Jewish family just over 3 years ago. If you recall, on July the 1st of 2016, Rabbi Mickey Mark was driving with his family in the West Ridge or West Bank near Hebron when they came under fire from a Palestinian terrorist, causing their vehicle to flip over and killing Mark. A Palestinian resident of Hebron who witnessed the attack together with his wife ran to help the victims, getting them out of the car and administering first aid until first responders arrived. Ever since, the man, whose name has not been released for security reasons, has faced death threats for helping Jews. He lost his job and his home. But yesterday, after a report from Israel's Channel 12 and efforts from a number of Israelis, including Jewish settler leaders, Interior Minister Aryeh Deri granted him residency in Israel, which entitles him to a work permit and social benefits. Deri praised the Palestinian for his selfless, noble actions and said he would now be able to begin a new life in Israel. West Bank settler leader Yossi Dagan, who leads the Samaria Regional Council, who was among those who campaigned on behalf of the Palestinian man, said it was the moral and righteous thing to do for a man who risked his life to save Jews. Police in Germany are looking for two suspects who allegedly spit on and yelled anti-Semitic slurs at a rabbi and his two sons as they left a synagogue in Munich on Saturday. This follows a similar incident last week on a community rabbi in Berlin, Yehuda Teichtal. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier visited Teichtal in his home on Sunday, telling him, "I have come here to say that there is no place for anti-Semitism in Germany." Well, 9 pieces of art stolen by the Nazis from a Jewish couple over 80 years ago has been returned to the couple's rightful heirs. Deutsche Welle reports that a ceremony was held on Monday at the Bavarian National Museum in Munich, where Art Minister Bernhard Sibler, together with museum officials, handed over 5 paintings, 3 19th century color casts, and a wooden panel with ivory, all of which were confiscated during the Holocaust from Julius and Samaya Franziska Davidson in Munich in 1938. An Israeli communications satellite was successfully launched last night. The Amos 17 was sent into orbit from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida aboard a Falcon launch vehicle designed and manufactured by Elon Musk's SpaceX. Amos will run several in-orbit tests before it begins its work in providing increased internet connectivity for sub-Saharan Africa. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin said it was a proud morning. He tweeted, "Thank you and congratulations to our friends at Amos Spacecom and SpaceX for their important work on behalf of the State of Israel." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, August the 7th, we hear testimony from Holocaust survivor Matilda Freund on Witness. At 8, Assistant Professor of Political Science Beth Ginsburg discusses the history of Jewish political participation in the U.S. and other world governments. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub leads a panel discussion that looks at whether pro-Israel Jews who have been lifelong Democrats still find a home in the Democratic Party in the face of the anti-Israel rhetoric of the far left of the party, with Jonathan Mark, Laura Adkins, Eric Yaffe, and Thane Rosenbaum. At 10:30, it's the documentary The Last Resort in the spotlight on Jewish Cinematheque. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, Thinking Out Loud with Micah Halpern. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, August the 7th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.